What's up guys, Andrew aka the Glocktopus here with Glocktopus Reviews, and this week I'm bringing you a review on the NC Star Vism sight pusher and the Ameriglo ghost ring sights for the Glock 17 Gen 1 through 4. If you guys want to see more cool sight and sight pusher reviews like this, go ahead and like and subscribe to my pages on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Let's get started. Alright guys, we're going to get into this tabletop review of the NC Star Vism sight pusher and the Ameriglo Glock sights for the Glock 17 Gen 1 through 4 ghost ring sights. These are really nice with the tritium on the inside. First things first, always guys, when you're working on your weapons, make sure that you have a clear weapon and that the ammo for that weapon is in a separate room. You don't want any accidents, and that should always be your first ammo check. So we're going to make sure we have a clear weapon here. No rounds in the chamber, no mag in the mag well. I'm going to get this stripped down for you guys and we'll go from there. Alright guys, now that you've got your Glock slide stripped, the really cool thing about my slide here is I've already got Ameriglo sights on it. I've got the Ameriglo agent sights, which are really cool. They've got this U-notch in them. And that U-notch gives you a really unique sight picture. Today we're going to be looking at the ghost ring sight. So just a side-by-side comparison in the aperture is you've got the U aperture here and then you've got the nice little ghost ring here. So really cool that we're installing these on. First things first with the sight pusher, just explain a little bit about it. We've got the aluminum body here on the outside. You've got steel control knobs on the outside here as well, and on the inside you've got these polymer fingers. I'm going to get you a better view of this guys and zoom in on the sight pusher itself. Like I said, here is going to be these polymer inserts. These just go in and out of the sight pusher. Really nice. These are going to be the flat-sided ones for Glocks. Inside of the bag slash box that this sight pusher comes in, they do give you the side pieces for doing like the Glock 1911s. They've got these little angled pieces on the side there, so you can go ahead and get that wrapped around the slides and barrels that are a little weird. Really nice option that they include those, as well as the Glock polymer plates in the same kit, and you don't have to go searching for something. As well, inside of the kit they give you an Allen wrench. The Allen wrench is used to do the set screws that are here on the tops of these pusher pads, and right now I've actually got this calibrated for Glock slides. If you can see here on the top, there's actually, we'll try and get this in focus, there's actually a line right here that runs right down the middle, and then you've got another line that's right here on the sight pusher itself. That will actually measure out when you're trying to push this sight over. You shouldn't have any issue with your sights being off. I do use this ruler here, and I do use a set of calipers to make sure that my sight is the same distance on the slide left or right. What you do here when you're getting this set up, you want to go ahead and loosen these pads. Like I said, I've got this right pad already set in place with a set screw, so that doesn't go anywhere. The set screws are on the top here, and use a little Allen wrench and tighten that, and that'll keep this in place. You can load this from the back or the front. What you want is the Vism logo and these measurement markers facing you, and you want the muzzle of the weapon down and away from you. So I've got this mounted on this little board that I built so you guys could get a really good view of that and a good camera angle. You go ahead and slide your slide in. Like I said, I've got this side right here calibrated already, so we're going to rest the slide up against that, and we're just going to tighten down this left clamp, and we'll get that nice and just stuck out just a little bit from the back of those pads. Tighten that down. Make sure, guys, that you're not tightening these down way too much for your slide. You really don't want to mar or mess up the slide. Then you've got this one plunger here on the top. That one comes down, and that is actually going to hold the slide down and put pressure on it from the top and hold it down to this plate that actually is holding the slide up into the fingers of the sight pusher. So I've got the Ameriglo agent sights here on the slide itself right now. We're going to get those taken off, and to get those taken off to operate the sight pusher here on top is going to be this one handle here on the side. So it's going to be lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Lefty-loosey is going to get that sight off the back. As soon as you start doing that, this finger right here is going to rest up against the side of the rear sight. Go ahead and start cranking that, guys. These Ameriglo sights really come off and go on with ease. I'm not having to use a lot of pressure to get this sight off. You just take this, and at this point you just use one finger, and that sight's going to pop right out of that dovetail. So that's really, really cool that you don't have to use like a nice polymer hammer like the old school days and tap these in on the back. This tool makes it super duper easy. We've got the ghost ring sight here. I've also got this tabletop here set to the correct height, and what you do is when installing your new sight, with these Ameriglo sights, like I said, they don't take a lot to get in and out of the dovetail. You can put a little couple drops of gun oil, some Hoppy's gun lubricant or something right here on the outside, and that will get that in the dovetail real nicely. Go ahead and stick that right in there, and you'll get the dovetail. We'll move this sight pusher over to the side. And I apologize if this is taking a minute, guys. It's a little awkward trying to do this on camera, standing up instead of down in front of me. And we've got that started in the dovetail. And as you can see here, guys, this is where the markings come into play on the top of this sight pusher. So you go ahead and you start tightening this sight pusher, and that's going to push the sight from the left hand side. And just keep an eye on the top here. As soon as we get close to this center mark, we're gonna go ahead and stop there. There's one thing that I can do is you can push from where I'm at right now on this sight on that round side, or you can push from this lip here on the bottom. Since I've already got this calibrated and set, we're gonna go ahead and move this to the bottom lip since we're pretty close. All you do is loosen that sight pusher back off, loosen this left side, and we'll loosen the top one here. And then we're gonna go ahead and raise that tabletop a little bit by moving that to the right. And make sure that this ghost ring is actually not pushing up onto that sight pusher itself. And we'll tighten that back down, and then we'll tighten this top one here. And then what we do is we go back into the tightening, and as you see here, this is not lined up again yet. And we're gonna go ahead and push that down to where we are lined up. And if you look here, the left lip of the sight pusher should be right at the edge of that sight pusher finger, and on the sight right there, that should be lined up right there on the top, the two lines. And then if you line that up right there with that straight edge, shows that you've got that straight down the middle, and your sight should be lined up. Now you do need to verify that by taking the slide off and looking down your sight line and making sure that is not skewed, and then you can double verify that by taking it to the range. I do take a set of calipers and measure here on the edges of the Glock slide to make sure that it is the same gap on both sides, because I am super duper anal about it. I want to make sure that this sight is on straight and correct. And that's it, guys. This sight pusher is really easy, really nice. I like being able to put these on myself instead of having to go down to a gunsmith or gun store and having to drop my slide off, having to wait a day. If they don't do it right then, if they have a bunch of work in front of them, you never know. You're able to get that done in the ease of your home, and it's really nice. The time you save and the money you save by picking one of these up is super awesome, guys. They're not very expensive. You can pick these up on Amazon. I'm going to go ahead and put a link in description where you can grab one of these. Super easy, not much fuss at all, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get this slide out of the slide pusher here. Like I said, you go ahead and loosen the top one here, and then you can loosen the one on the left, and you can go ahead and turn that table that way, and then we can get this slide out of there. And then all of a sudden, guys, you've got a nice sight swap on your Glock slide. The new, or not new, well, new to me, ghost ring sights from Ameriglo. Next thing, what I'm gonna do to show you how these look, we'll get this sight pusher out of the way. We're gonna turn these lights off and show you what these tritium sights look like in the dark. So let's get that done. So we've got the rear ghost sight. As you see that tritium is pretty bright. Right now my studio is, I've got one light on the wall on super dim. That way we're able to catch a little detail with the focus and able to show you these. But that rear ghost ring sight, look at that, guys. Those are really bright. They could be a hair brighter for me. Here on camera, they are really super bright, but in person, they don't look that bright. They're just a touch dimmer than that, but looking at the front sight through that ghost ring, there's your front post again. And then here's your rear. There we go. Really nice tritium, guys. Like I said, it could be a hair brighter. Here in person, it is not as bright as it looks on screen. Again, probably because the camera has some really good settings. It picks up a lot of light. But yeah, if you're looking for some night sights that don't only catch your eye during the day or night, as you know, the Ameriglo sights here in the front, we'll get the lights back on, have a fluorescent color on the front. This is going to be their Lumi green color. Let's see if we can get that in focus for you. There we go. Really high vis. Looks really nice through that rear aperture of that ghost ring sight. So if you have older eyes, or you have astigmatism, or you just have a problem focusing far and near, this ghost ring sight really does help you out, guys. It just gives you a bigger window in the back to where you can focus better on that front sight. As far as installing the front sight on these guys, Ameriglo does give you a front sight tool inside of your kit. It's going to be this little gold tool. I've got my own front sight tools, and I do already have this front sight installed. It does go right over the flat nut that is on the sight here. I've got one pulled out so you can see it. The front Glock sights have this screw, front sight screw, that goes under the slide, and if you look at it, it is super thin and flat, and all you do is take this tool and that slides right over that head on the underside of the Glock slides. Let's see if we can get that there. Right there, and that's where it goes installed. You put your little dab of Loctite on that and make sure that this is straight. You can get you a straight edge and make sure that your front side is straight, because it does cant just a little bit either way. So I make sure all times that I do use a straight edge or my calipers to make sure that that is on straight. Super easy, guys. A little bit about the Ameriglo sights. It is a rear green tritium here in the front, and it is a green tritium here with a Lumi green highlight on the outside. This ghost ring sight set does fit the Glock Gen 1 through 4. It fits the models 17, 19, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 33, 34, 35, 37, 38, and 39. But this does not fit on the MOS slides. Super nice, guys. These are case hardened. The front blade width is going to be 3.56 millimeters. That's going to be this front blade here. The front blade height is going to be 5.59 millimeters from top to bottom. And like I said, the rear sight aperture is going to be the ghost ring. As far as it goes, guys, this sight is really nice, man. I have not really had any experience with the ghost ring sights till I got this one, and I would say I would be up to changing a couple of the sights on my Glocks over to these ghost rings if it wasn't a Glock that I'm using with suppressors as I've got here. Ameriglo has these nice suppressor height sights that I use that get me over firstly get me over my HoloSun ACSS Vulcan from Primary Arms, and then gets me over my suppressors when I'm mounted here. Really nice tall sights, guys. So Ameriglo has a lot of options when it comes to sights. They are my go-to sight, guys. I've used these for a long time on all of my Glocks. I just upgrade when I see that they've come out with something that really catches my eye and is nice. As far as this goes, it is a really easy time, like I said, installing these sights with the sight pusher from NC Star Vism. My go-to sight, like I said, is going to be these Ameriglo sights. Really nice. I put them on my weapons. I put them on my wife's. She really likes them. Just really nice out of the box, no frills, no thrills sights, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get this packed up and sit down and give you my honest review on the Vism NC Star sight pusher and the Ameriglo ghost ring sights for the Glock 17. Alright, guys, I'm going to give you my solid rating on both of these items. Actually, both of them are going to be a 7.5 out of 8 Glocktopus arms. I'll tell you why. This sight pusher by NC Star Vism is going to be really nice. This aluminum body, as we discussed in the tabletop, as well as these steel parts to screw down on your slider, really nice, guys. The option that this gives you to be able to put your own sights on at your house without having to drive down to a gunsmith or to a gun store and leave your slide with them, have to pay for them to install it, have to drive all the way back down there and pick it up, really cuts out a lot of the mess, guys. So if you're looking to save yourself time and a little bit of money, this sight pusher really pays for itself on the first time you use it. So it's really cool, guys. I do recommend picking one of these up. As far as the Ameriglo ghost ring sights, guys, these things are super nice. As you saw on the tabletop, just the case hardening on the outside that Ameriglo does on these, really nice. I love the big rear aperture on this ghost ring, how it draws your eyes to that front post sight. The one thing I do wish with these Ameriglo sights, I wish the tritium was just a tad brighter. It's not a killer. It is really bright, as you saw in the tabletop video. Other than that, guys, there's really not an issue with these. These go on easy and come off easy. I've never really had an issue with Ameriglo sights when I'm installing them on my Glocks. If you guys are looking where to pick some of this stuff up, go ahead and click the link in bio or link in description. That's going to take you over to glocktopusreviews.com or my link tree. From there, you can scroll down and find the Amazon tab to find the NC Star Vism sight pusher, or find the Brownells.com tab to find the the sights from Ameriglo. The guys over at Brownells.com are super awesome. If you're always looking for stuff to put on your Glock or accessorize your rifles, they've got what you need over there. If you guys have any questions or comments about today's video, go ahead and leave those down below in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up on Instagram and YouTube. That'll help me out with the algorithm and get my video out to more people. If you guys like watching my reviews, go ahead and like and subscribe to my pages on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. On Instagram and YouTube, make sure you're clicking that notification icon. That's the bell icon up in the corner. That'll get all my newest content over to you as quick as possible. As always, guys, stay healthy, stay safe. Check you guys later.